Oh, FM radio and a headset is required, sold separately. Oh, what am I doing? Oh my god. How do you do that? It's shocking. Life will not end if you give up your smartphone. When you're using this mode of texting, you don't write in real English, you use a kind of shorthand version. Do you know that you can use a phone to call people? I've been noticing that he stares at me a lot. Like, for example, I might be just, making a cup of tea or something. It's very, very easy to get addicted to a smartphone. I've realized that there are a few apps that I will need to restrict or limit my access to. So how was the phone itself? Well, let's be honest, it's not going to win any awards, is it? I mean, just look at it. It wasn't exactly cheap either, it was 90 quid. What can I say? Let's look at the features though. It's got a camera on it, like I said earlier. I believe it's a 2 megapixel camera with a pretty rubbish sensor. It does video as well, but the thing is, it doesn't even record in MP4. It records in the old 3GP style format, which is extremely compressed and really blocky. Yeah, it's just rubbish, basically. Don't buy this phone if you want a good camera. The other thing I noticed was the apps. Yeah, so this phone, like I said, it does have apps. It's not like completely stupid. It does do a few things. You did have some important apps on there, like one of them was WhatsApp. So you are able to communicate with friends and family with a modern messaging app. However, it had some other things like YouTube and browser. It also had Google Maps. The browser failed to load up a lot of things that people might have sent me on WhatsApp, like for example, a link to online shopping or something. Oh, check this out. So yeah, the browser failed to load those up a lot of the time. The Maps, Google Maps, doesn't work like it does on your normal phone. It's the old school Google Maps where it literally is just a map. So if you want to use it for navigation and stuff like that, you can't. It's kind of like a bird's eye view all the time. YouTube was also a pain to use as well. That's all I got to say. The apps are there. If you really must use them, you do have kind of the potential. I mean, what do you expect? That's what the phone is at the end of the day. The other thing was the screen. The screen, I would say, there's no need. I don't think there's a need to make a rubbish screen, even on a feature phone like that. I really don't think there is. The screen is dreadful. It's got very bad viewing angles, very bad brightness. It's an old style LCD. Not that LCDs are bad, but the old style TN LCDs specifically are very, very bad. Very poor contrast, very poor viewing angles. And this one, I believe, it's the old school 65,000 colors on the screen, which sounds like a lot, but just for reference, a modern day screen has at least 16.7 million colors, and this thing has 65,000 colors. And what this means is that every photo that you take looks pretty rubbish on this screen. And yeah, why not just put a good screen in there? It's not going to cost you a lot of money these days. And screen, what's so addictive about that? Just put a nice screen on. Honestly, I just think it's really cheaped out there. I just don't understand the point of it personally. Other thing was the battery. Now, if you guys remember this phone, if you are a 90s child or older, you'll remember that the batteries on these phones were actually very, very good. They lasted weeks a lot of the time. And I used to charge my phone maybe once a week or twice a week. Whereas now with smartphones, you have to really charge them every single day. This phone is more like a smartphone. You have to charge it all the time, and a lot of the time I had to charge it more than once a day. And the reason for that is, like I said, it uses apps. You know, it runs a dedicated operating system with some smart features called KaiOS. It has 4G and it has Wi-Fi, and these things, they suck battery, to be honest. So yeah, it's not going to be like the old Nokia phones. Don't expect it to be like that. But the charging, how quickly does it charge? The other thing is the charging takes bloody ages. It might take 2-3 hours to charge this phone, and that's actually really rubbish because it's a small battery as well. You know, the battery on this is about 4 times smaller than the battery on that. So, and this charges in about an hour. So it just goes to show you how technology has moved on. About KaiOS. KaiOS is the operating system that this thing uses. And to be honest with you, considering what it's trying to achieve, it's not too bad, but sometimes it is a little bit buggy. I appreciate it's one of the newer operating systems, so there's probably a lot of teething problems there. The phone, over the last 30 days, it did crash maybe 4 or 5 times. Apps, a lot of the time, just wouldn't open. Photos people sent me, a lot of the time they just wouldn't open, or videos over WhatsApp, they just wouldn't open. Could be the WhatsApp software itself not working very well on KaiOS, I'm not sure. But yeah, the whole experience just was very, very buggy, to be honest with you. What about call quality? Call quality, well, from my end, right, you can hear people, not quite as, you know, HD, high definition as something like that. They're not very clear, the voices, but you can kind of hear people, so that's fine. Other people complained about how they heard me. For example, when you're going out for a walk, which I do every day because I've got a dog, you know, wind noise. I'd have people saying that I'm hearing a lot of wind noise. So I guess this phone maybe doesn't have a very good noise cancelling mic, or maybe it doesn't have noise cancelling mic. I'm not sure. If it does have noise cancelling mic, it's not very good because a lot of people have complained about hearing me. Other interesting things, I mean, we can't make a Nokia review without talking about Snake, can we? So there's a new version of Snake on this phone. It's, you know, it's quite fun. The effect, to be honest, the effect did wear off after a few days. You know, it's just a nostalgia, really. And this is a new version of Snake, so it's not really anything like the old one. I found that the phone couldn't really keep up with the demands of Snake. I'm not joking here, the game often glitched, especially in the later levels. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. Other things, what about the Kai App Store? So the App Store, I actually found, to be honest with you, there's quite a few apps on the Kai App Store, but there's some really strange ones as well. And there's ads, there's a lot of adverts in the apps themselves. And some really weird ads as well. Like I've never seen stuff like this before, like asking me, you know, do I want an arranged marriage? Go to this website or something like that. Any updates, I'll put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching the video. Did you like it? If you did, then please give us a like. Subscribe if you want to see more content. I'll see you next time.